let's start. Welcome to the session, Fake It Till You Automate It. Why are game studios switching to automation? I have Turker and Ali here with me. I'll let you guys introduce yourself further a bit later. I'll first introduce myself a little bit. I'm Jukka Koivunen, product manager for Codemagic. What we at Codemagic do, we do a continuous integration, continuous deployment platform, which shortly means that you can automatically build and deliver your apps to testers or to app stores, Google Play or iOS stores, so publishing can be also automated. We have been around for a longer time, but this year recently we have added Unity support, and we were a bit surprised to see when we came to outside of the game industry to see that automation actually in game industry is a lot less used than on mobile platforms, for example, mobile software developers. To your advantage, though, it seems hyper-casual especially is ahead of the game of the rest of the game industry, and Turkish developers also even further. So that's why it's interesting to talk about how you guys are using automation. And let's start. You can introduce yourself first, Ali.
Of course. Hello, everyone. I'm Ali. I'm a co-founder and CEO of Brew Games. We established Brew Games last year, January, and focused on hyper-casual and hybrid-casual games. We have a really senior level team, and we believe in SDKs, automation, and actually we try to make everything faster as possible. That's why I'm really glad that you invited us for this panel. Yeah.
And nowadays we are mostly focused on publishing side, and we are now working with these studios, and also we have an in-house production to test mostly casual games, and also there will be a program for the PC and console games too. So thank you. And this is gonna keep going like this, and we are here to talk about lots of studio, about publishing, about monetization like the last session, and also automation is also one of the most important topic too, and I'm really glad to be here with you.
Yeah, maybe get a bit deeper in the topic. How do you guys see how can automation and using automation change your business, change the business, and change the ways of your working? You can, for example, you have both are using automation. You can also describe how you guys use it.
Let me start then. We actually prototype lots of games every week, every month. And as I know, with our workforce, we are around 20 right now, but we are developing and like lots of CPI prototypes, as much as like a 50 guys team studio, I can say. One of the biggest reasons is actually optimization. We have our own Brew SDK and our own Brew engine, you could say. We develop everything with like modular, and we add them to our optimization and monetization, and like our Brew like development packs. So I can give you a few examples where we use these tools we also like scripted our own releasing tool, I can say. With just one click, we release an APK and we send our games to test flight. So in every prototype, actually, we do that minimum like 5 to 10 times, and every time in every project, actually, that saves us 1 day of workload of a senior or junior developer. If you prototype like more than 10, 20 games per month, that actually saves you a lot of actually time, effort, and that's also on the other side for the design teams or for the QA testing teams. It's really important to have these APKs maybe every day, maybe every few hours before you launch the games or you while we were testing these games. So this tool, for example, really, really useful for us and like saves our life in many ways, I can say. On the other hand, we, as I mentioned, we have our own SDK pack, which is actually combining more than 20-30 networks in one SDK pack. And with just one click, again, we can integrate all of these networks into our games, which usually takes 2 or 3 days of workload of a senior developer. For juniors, it's I guess much more. But like we already optimized it for every game. It just takes like 5-10 minutes for us to maintain or like implement, integrate these networks. Also on there are like other sites that we use on the marketing reporting, on game design, ideation, and actually for anything that you do it repetitively, you can work on optimization of these things, and in total, like if you are focused on just one game, maybe that's not a huge time saver, but if you are trying to publish and develop lots of games at the same time, that's a game changer, I can say. And I can give you different examples later, maybe. I told so much, sorry.
Yeah, it's a huge topic that we can talk about lots of stuff. Yeah, I mean, of course, similar to Ali's team, and we were testing like 15 games per month a few months ago, and that was a really huge amount of production, and that was a huge amount of also ideation too. And if you want to test lots of games, and if you want to test different kind of games too, that's a really huge problem for the team. I mean, if you don't have an automatization about every stuff, it's gonna be really exhausting for the team. So that's one of the main topics why you need to automatize some stuff, not only the production side, but also on the ideation side, and on also the management side too. Like you need to make a really good pipeline for the production too. I mean, so that's why you need your team to be better at the performance, and you need to, if you want to create more qualified games, you also have to automate all the pipeline. And as similar, we have lots of automatization tools too for the team, like I mean, for the programming side, for the arts team, and also for the ideation team too. Like we have tools like you can implement SDKs as fast as possible. You can use some draft projects depending on your game design, and also we have a for the art team. We have a like asset tool that you can find any asset, similar assets that we already created before for other games, and you can easily take those assets, those animations, or anything you want from those asset library and implement to your game easily too. So that needs time actually. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be other topics. If you wanna increase the capacity of your team, you need to waste time. If you see it as a waste, you need to spend time on the research side, and those research should automate most of your production at the end of the day. So, as I said, there are lots of stuff we can keep talking about topic by topic, but of course we have lots of automation in team too.
Yeah, exactly. So is it mostly about saving time, or are there other aspects? I think also maybe avoiding mistakes and things like that, and or what do you see?
For example, on marketing side, if you can manage to create your own marketing art optimization system and publishing system, you can actually create lots of different creatives with different backgrounds, sounds, text, animations, and a huge combination of these things. And like if a marketing artist can do that, yes, they can do that, but it takes time, rendering, spending lots of time. Instead of that, if marketing art team can try to find these things to implement into these systems, it's most of the time much more easier. For a person, you can maybe render 20, 30, 40 marketing art videos in one day, but if you automate it through a server, you can do these combinations 7/24, and even if you automate this publishing testing side, it's also a huge workload, so you can actually fix most of the problems, and also your team will not be exhausted, and they will be more creative. They can focus on more creative stuff. This is just like an example, as you asked, like what can you do different? Maybe you can.
Of course, the first thing is time saving. The first aim is to create the games faster, in a faster way. But there are other things that you earn by automating this stuff. Like, I mean, I'm trying to remember a few stuff. Like, I mean, we are deep mining apps through the market or through the testing phases, and even if we have a system like that give notifications through Slack or through other communication stuff that gives a newly tested game directly to the team, and this is like a thing that you don't miss important stuff by automating those kind of stuff. Or on the other hand, like we have some automatizations like for the design part, like even by automating the design part, you make a different approach to designing. Like it seems like automation, like there are keywords, you make your designs through keywords, and you try to merge keywords, or you try to differentiate your testings per month, and even by automating those kind of stuff, you give a really better approach to the designing side too. Like as I said, the time saving is really important, but even though automating some stuff, you realize that you are doing some better stuff in every details. Like quality is also one of those stuff. Like when you do the automation, you have more time to implement more stuff to your game, and you have more time to polish your game. So that's the most important point, to make better games in the quality way. And it goes on like this.
Like UDO Games has been there for a longer time, I could assume that you haven't been automating things always. So I was just wondering, what was the kind of trigger, what was the realization now we need to do something differently, and what were the kind of pain points and which were solved by automation?
Yeah, yes, as you said, we've been working together for a long time with the Codemagic team, and also we didn't mention, but the building is also really one of the time-costing stuff in the production side. Like when we first find out about the Codemagic side, and when we first thought about really automatizing the building phase, like it was like really important because it really affects most of the production cycle. Like if you can test the first prototype, first playable, in the fastest ways as possible, you have the chance to kill the game at that point. Even for the first 3 days of the game, third day of the production, you have the chance to kill the game by directly taking the build, by instantly clicking a link and installing the game to your device. And when you realize that this is not a good way of design or this is not a good playable, you have the chance to directly kill the game at that point. And that's one of the most important stuff in the hyper-casual or also in the hybrid casual side too. Like, even I know studios that directly kill the games in the first playable phase, and to make those kind of decisions, you really need to test all kind of builds in any time you want, and that's also really one of the important points. And when we realized that automating some stuff, like, you have chances, like you can test through test flights in the App Store, or you can make internal test system through Google Play Store, etc. But even just by automating some stuff like this, you are realizing that life goes easier for you in your daily basis. And when you see that, like, stories like there are programmers in somewhere that automate everything and they are not doing anything in their daily life. Like, it's similar to this kind of stuff. If you automatize all kind of stuff that you can do and that doesn't affect your quality or that doesn't affect your designing side, it's always better for the team. And when you realize that you give more time to the researchers and you give more time to find those topics, those kind of topics that whatever you can automatize, you try to create time for those kind of researchers.
And Ali, did you start automating from the beginning, or?
Yeah.
And what was the reason for that? Do you have some experience beforehand, or?
One of our co-founders is actually an SDK architect of a publishing company. That's why he got lots of knowledge about these details. Also, when we get the investment, SDKs, optimization, and the speed was, the most important part to show the quality and the effectiveness of the team. I'm sure everyone has some level design templates, or even some genre templates, but without those templates, it's really hard to develop many games. From our side, we started SDKs and optimization from the first day, and that's usually the most boring part for our investor, meeting presentations. But actually, that's one of the most important side of our team. That's an investment that actually shows the impact maybe months later. You need to invest time and workforce on building these stuff, or you can find maybe partner companies. We didn't know about you before, but we already automated those parts before. But that's a really time-consuming thing if you don't automate stuff. Just as a small example, we right now focus on, for example, first we focused on some runner games. And when we first started, it took 2 weeks for us to create some runner templates or runner, prototypes. But we automized these processes. We automized we added level generators and some color changing, adding some lots of tools into this template. And at the end of the day, we see that we can create a runner template in 2 days, which is a huge difference. And for Idle Arcade, that's even similar. Our first Idle Arcade games we actually developed in 6 months, 6 weeks. And right now we can create any Idle Arcade game in one senior developer can develop in 1 week. So it's just actually changing the destiny of the company.
Okay, so it's really affecting the business and enabling you kind of new ways of working.
Yeah.
Indeed, as you mentioned, killing games when you immediately see that they don't work. Maybe we're almost running out of time, maybe as a last kind of topic, what would be, like there might be people in the audience who don't use anything, or what, or like when, or like considering this is something for me, like what would you say, when should you consider starting with automation and how to start with and things like that, like what size of team or what kind of game?
Yeah, actually, Ali mentioned some important stuff in there. He said that when we first got the investment, we started to make researchers and we started to save time for the researchers too. Like, I know that we are always talking with small studios, like including 3 to 4 people, trying to make production all day long and also trying to make ideations, etc., etc. That's really hard by doing that. When you are doing those kind of really busy days, it's really hard to find time for researchers or to find time some automatizations too. I really understand those kind of situations, but I mean, I'm giving those kind of studios like even in smallest times, like half of the day, if you are free, you should give time those kind of stuff. Like you should, if you want to increase your production capacity or if you want to increase your production quality, you have to make researches. You have to automate something. You have to make new tools that you can use. You have to learn new stuff. In any possible chance you have. And that's why in what situation you are, you have to create time for those kind of stuffs. And I'm also giving advices like if you have 2 developers and like 2 artists, I mean, I didn't mention, but of course we have the luxury to do that, but we have a developer that his only job is to make researches. Like he has a checklist that we create together to automate something or to test new tools about everything, like in the marketing side too, and also in the production side too. That if whatever he checks, it's a really good booster for the team, for both arts team, for both the developer team too. Like for the small studios like too, there should be someone that has the responsibility to do those kind of researches, and really they can create some checklist in a really good sorted by the priority, and if they do that, they can start checking those kind of some of them, and whenever they give some checks, and they will instantly realize that something is going better in the production side, and that's why they shouldn't waste any time, and they should start immediately as soon as they can find the chance to do that.
You obviously still have another word, or
I totally agree with that. Like that's, as I mentioned, one of the biggest and most important things. And also for the teams, actually, psychology. These tools are like life changers.
give you a lot of confidence. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're out of time, so thanks a lot, Ali and Turker. I'll do still a shameless advertisement. If you want to start automating your build system and don't know how, the Codemagic will discuss down the stairs and left. So you can do that.